Yippee. Okie Ooh, that's kind of loud on my end. Let's see if I can lower. Where is. There, I think that should be good. Hello. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this or not, in all honesty. Doesn't. I like this game, but I don't know if people are if anyone wants to listen to it. But I was gonna. I think I played the first chapter through, and I'm fairly certain this game's pretty long too. But the first chapter was really good, like really, really good. So here, let's start it. For a while, I've rewritten like intro to like a video I really wanted to do for this game, but none of it actually like. I don't know. It is pretty good, like the intro so far that I wrote, but I still need to actually play the game. My initial going through of this game was listening to someone else go through it. There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. That old mansion appears before you. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept as truth the events unfolding before you. The house lives in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows how you first said. No one knows who first said. That the mansion was cursed. This is a very good game, very good visual novel. The music's amazing. The music in this game is so good. I've put it on in the background just so I could listen to it and have it playing as like my background music for throughout the day or at work or stuff like that. It's a very emotional game, a very trigger warning game. Not gonna lie, there are things that'll pull at your heartstrings so hardcore. Because remember, when I went first through this, I was listening to someone else play through the game and having them essentially just read it to me like an audiobook. And there are moments where I was at work and I needed to like sit for a second and be like, don't cry in public. You're gonna be a weirdo for that. Multiple times, especially toward the ending, where a lot of the emotional payoffs are ramping up. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I was expecting all of it, not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna have to read all of it. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. Oh, we're getting a text box. I was looking down upon a corpse. My own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair, and the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion, my soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything, however. As I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me, and so I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back to you. That I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. I'll see if I can play with my controller. Can I? Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. I can't play with my controller. It's cool. Tur. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master. You can hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of that fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of the rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid. You've finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. Good morning, Master. Good morning. Oh, it's a choose adventure. Good morning. What is it, What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice. I've simply been waiting for so long for this moment, tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman who looked like a maid seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful camellias, if you'd like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since last we met. Tell me, Master, what would you like? I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited, but I hope you'll be sympathetic, Master. I'm just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life is the more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace and the rose engravings in the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar, but a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered the familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my god, do you not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, as though a faint chill ran down your spine. You are the master of this house, though it seemed you have no memory of such. Quite the dilemma. If you not know who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, Master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your head begin to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house, but without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nod. Let us be off then, and fear not. I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. Oh god, reading is so hard. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it, laying nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door. The glass within it shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in the state, though it is in the state that you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once laid beyond these doors. The owner of the time employed gathering rare species of roses from all across the world. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in the constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, master. The maid opens the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. Ooh. I have played through this game, and I have actually played through the beginning of it, but I think it's like a couple of years back, so it's been forever. The first door. Ooh. Very excited to play through this. 1603. I think it takes about a long bit amount of time for the first chapter to go through, which is fine for me because I'll just play it all through and then record it and post it. I'm gonna have to see how much I have to change, like audio wise, because I'm still trying to figure out the audio. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction as cumbersome principle of an old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive way of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. Rome would big out in the 20 years from then, plucking their ripened era from the tree of history, but that is no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of fervor for all who were there. Whoa, reading is so hard. Now, let us take a slight detour. Now we will not be changing locations. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time, say about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in this house then. The mother and father, brother and sister had all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See? There I am, standing around, looking rather a fool. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend to such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely if you would. That soft fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? I'm not gonna sing the girl, but she's just going la la la. The girl you see cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird was Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons here. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care and even had their thorns removed, so young Nellie wouldn't hurt herself naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked the petals from the roses, gathering them up as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I'm being rather fanciful, but what is woman if not fanciful? Little bird, singing night and day, for your little birdie heart sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds, and even when the sun comes up, oh dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Nellie was a matter of fact not the only visitor in that rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of the tree reading a book. As I am sure you are aware, in their time books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over the years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was in fact in Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at that time I believed he was capable of reading even advanced text. Oh, dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hand she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped the tree, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Ah! Look at your head. Your head is covered in roses, Mel. Oh, Nellie, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty. It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. Besides, flowers won't get a book dirty. I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit? While waiting for you, dearest Mel, I waited, and you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Wow, that soon? That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast. She may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult. That's not true. I'll still play with you, even when I'm grown up. But grown-ups don't play, Nellie. Fine, I'll stay a child forever then. Didn't you just say you were about to grow up? You're so mean now. I'm sorry. Please don't pout like a little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today. Really? Do you mean it? I don't want to play make-believe. I want to play make-believe. Make-believe? Make-believe. I believe a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a princess. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can become a prince? Impressive. They can. Knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else could be my prince, or my knight. While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed at his rose-cheeked sister proclaiming pratingly, I am certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. All right then, you're my princess, Nellie. And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay? Nellie? Geez, my princess is quite the fawner. Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me? Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dearest princess. I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever. Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of her song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Nellie, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings, brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children can stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception, and as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for every individual? Now let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we could not. Please, do not let go of my hand, Master. Oh, my back. Oh, so much reading, and so much flubbing. a bit, but I do think I've gotten better at reading. Because when I first started reading a couple years back, after having stopped reading from school or whatever like that, oh my god, it would be so hard to read and get through a book. I'll I'll be on my way then. Oh, you usually stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week or the week after? Hold on to it as long as you like. But surely there are others who want to use it. None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Oh, do you not believe me? No, I believe you, Father. I mean to do whatever I can not to disappoint you. That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Ah, yes. And Mel, do you consider what we were talking about? Going to university? Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There's a very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me then, I'll see you again. Our door is always open. Farewell. Whether it's in service of God or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure if I'd like to do something. I'd kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet any longer for too long, even Father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor? This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week. Alms. The way he shakes his head, I can get a glimpse of his forehead under his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Ah, thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks. The Lord. Oh no. Nellie's gonna be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses, and it looks like it's gonna rain. Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you had accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would go from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by the eminent Marquis. Though it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows, they studied at the Marquis' estate. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today, and Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him into the church, but Mel was having a difficulty deciding what he should do. The idea of such a choice is envious, is it not? Yeah, because this is 1600s. Oh, Jesus, that's so far back ago. I can't even imagine what that'd be like. Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Don't call me young master, please. I beg your pardon? Oh, what did that even say? Gonna send me get had at whoa. Gonna send get me head at the past. Your order's right there, right here, sir. Mel hadn't stopped at the jewelry store in the center of town on his way home back from home. Mel had stopped at the jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of piece of his jewelry, said to be on display in the palace. As artistry flourished in the Golden Age, the number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course. Good, it came out just as I hoped. Splendid work. What does that even say? I can't afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself. I gotta read it like that for it to make sense. An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. My boys back home could do well to learn a thing from the two of you. Every man ought to show women some cordiality. And going home to a coal fireplace is such a sad thing indeed. Again, please don't call me young master. My apologies. I'll take this and be in my way then. Gazay, if you find yourself in the need of aught else, just let me know. I can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to me and your sweetheart's day will be sure as made. And I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. Please, I don't have a sweetheart. Huh, well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls are vying for your hand too, young Mr. Rhodes. A fine family, good looks, charming, and your future's all but. I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day. Come by again any time. I don't even know what type of accent that is. It's just gotta be like back throat, cause I could not read any of that. Goodness. Maybe I'll stay. I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as my father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank and go somewhere far away. That sounds like the kind of thing, that kind of plan Nelly would come up with. I don't know. Were people back then like actual royalty, or is it just like because they were rich? As he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, the distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name, Rhodes. Rhodes, which you heard on the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. The mansion looked quite different from than it does now, no? No thicket of ivory covering the walls, no rotten, broken doors to be found. I wonder what the Rhodes family would think if they saw the house in this present state. Tragic conditions. Ugh. The sight of their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable symbol of prosperity, long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let's forget for a moment about our own time. I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky, but I'm sure it's... Dearest Mel, what took you so long? Where have you ever been? I've been waiting forever. Nelly? You're not in the house? Nope, you were taking so long I decided to wait by the gate. But you didn't even notice me at all. Is that any way to treat a lady? All that studying got your head... all that studying got your head stuck up in the clouds. No, it hasn't really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back? Heavy? I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets to maintain my figure for a new dress. And you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister? You're such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk, blockhead, weakling, and obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nellie? You are the star of today's event. It's fine. They can call it my birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what father's true motives are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. Ugh, I have no interest in all of that. Don't be like that, Nellie. They're all here for you. At least enjoy what you can of the party. I guess, and besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think? What do I think? About what? About what? Mel? My new dress, it's arrived. I'm wearing it. How could you not notice? I did notice I did notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, so... But this is the dress I had made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dryer. And this belt is just lovely. You see how it comes together to form a butterfly? Oh, I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. So tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me? Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she still is a delightful little girl. Oh, my dearest Mel, I love you. Whoa, don't jump on me like that. Ah, oh my, you dropped something. And what do we have here? What? Hold on, no, you can't have that yet. Is it a present? Give it back. I was gonna give that to you later. I knew it. It's just for me. It's for me. And what could it be? Hey, don't open it. What's the big deal? It's gonna be mine soon, anyways, isn't it? Oh, I love it. A rose necklace. And this design is from the jeweler from the royal family uses. Oh, my dearest Mel, you had this made just for me? Oh, jeez. It defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. There, how does it look? It looks lovely. My prince is still the sweetest in all the land. Don't make such weird noises. Oh, but why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some rose jewelry to go with her new dress. Understand? Jeez, I sure don't have it easy playing it your prince, Nelly. It might be about time you found a new one. A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing out in the street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're gonna have to wait another 10 years. It's a long time. Or if you find yourself a new princess. Nah, I'm not so... You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But worry not, your adorable little sister will always be your princess. What more could you want? Are you really allowed to judge... Wait, are you really allowed to be the judge of that? I mean, more to you than any other girl in the world. Wait, I mean more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? Then that makes me your perfect princess. Hey, what was with that laugh? Hey, what was with that laugh and it'll all be over soon laugh? You're always telling me I mean more than anyone to you. Yes, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister. I'll take good care of the necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel. Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now, back into the house with you. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. Do you know if anyone else is here yet? Nope. I imagine they'll be here soon, though. Ooh, that was so hard to read, I don't know why. Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there personally. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. What? Really? Why? Well, I have my reasons. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skipping church. As grew the brother, so did the sister. That day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw with your own eyes, so you know just how much she was changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well, but a girl like that has her own charms. Would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults, but the core of their relationship did not change in the slightest. Nellie was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for her sister. Around the time the sun began to set, carriages started lining up outside the wall, though outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nellie had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Oh, I gotta drink something. Oh, yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me? Alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives, and I'm sure they don't remember a thing. Whoa, commercial break. Why was that a thing? The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. The servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware was polished to shine so that they could be proudly put to use at any moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off the side to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nellie. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nellie, I had these jewels cut for you. You'll let me have this dance, won't you? Huh. What's the matter, Nellie? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apples candied in rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dearest Mel. Huh? What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming and it never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. But I think that is true for you, Nellie. Though, why is she disappointed with me? I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. They'll probably throw in an even bigger one next year. Why? Well, you know, you're about that age, Nellie. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have connection with us. So what you're saying is to do it for the family? No, let's not. I won't date or marry anyone. They have no interest in being used as a pawn for their inter-family politics. Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love? Love? I never thought I would hear you talking about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand you don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's plays so beautiful, and you're talking about love? You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love. We went all the way out to the Globe Theatre too. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not, Nellie. Shakespeare's make-believe stories make you cry like a baby. Anyone would cry to that. That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nellie, would have no problem finding love. Dearest Mel, we should dance. Lady Nellie, could I have this? Let's dance, dearest Mel. But what, me? Wait up. Come on, I really like this song. Quit pulling on me, Nellie. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Mother and father are staring dagger at us. No matter what day is it today, dearest Mel? Your birthday? Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now attend to your princess as a proper prince should. Oh jeez, how did I get myself into this? Nellie's skirt fluttered along with her eyes as she stepped in time to the music. She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dance ability as good even as a flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a little tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you gonna do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nellie alone enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It didn't matter to her that he moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure, just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough to stop the music. A ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. The music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. The siblings' father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted and gave a short apology for their interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants as well, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective then? That is not what confused you? Well, your questions shall be answered in time. In time. Now let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive action restored the guests' festive mood in short order. So it was not by any means the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. Oh dear, I hear thunder. It was rather loud too. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence there. The stretches of time with the clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still something unstable on the cusp of the two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the windows. Were the party to continue to any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nellie had not gone on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky I am. This must be a blessing for being such a good girl. I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky, but it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. For heaven's sake, Arthur was there. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He was covered in gross freckles, and he was a huge jerk. He said my hair looked like color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves. Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And then he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nellie, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel? I'm listening. I wonder what that ruckus was earlier. Ugh, you weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? It wasn't another guest at least. Maybe a cat sneaked in? You think so? I do. But enough of that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel? Seriously? I'm exhausted though. It's not even that late. Fine. Something feels kind of off. A cat? I want to go check. Come on, hurry up. Hold on. You don't need to drag me, Nellie. My birthday isn't even over yet, so you're not done tending to me. Nellie. Flickering thunder. Dun 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 dun. I feel like, what's the last time I saw thunder? Like, shit, actually, it was like a couple weeks ago. Not that bad. Commercial break. Let's go. I kind of like that little. I'm gonna use that as a stem. It was the thing. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all that storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nellie was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here. The only sound that could be heard in that dark corridor were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put up one foot in front of the other. But to where was he supposed to head? Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by the flashing of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his steps, Mel was slowly but surely drawing near to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled. Into another corridor. and then stopped outside in Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of lamps spilled through the crack in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make flame thicker. A person's movement or vibration in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver, shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I can see light from inside. Is she still awake? A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservations about peeping into another's chambers, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, master, in that situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this, but the voice. I feel like it's calling to me. Or someone else. Ah, yes, me. Could sense someone watching me at that moment. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I can sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I cannot begin to speculate as to his true feelings or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of this mansion. But it is not I who was of concern, master. It's you. You and I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself, but I can't look away. Who is that? Her skin is so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow, and her eyes, they're like how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like blood? No, that's just disturbing. Then wine, perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones, then? Yes, gemstones. Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were fixed on a particularly young woman. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime. Her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden beneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity? Whoa, I can't say that word. Insalubrity. Even if she thought herself hideous. I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble that the sound of the gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There's something strangely comforting about this house. It's almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father. There's something you could have done, I imagine. There's nothing you could have done, I imagined. When you came to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? Was that perchance what that commotion was about? He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 1 step, 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment, but she can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in the room a second time. so he cautiously returned to his bedchambers as quietly as he could manage. Stretching. But beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind, nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. I'm gonna drink. Who could she be? Oh, is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you? Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor? Yes, indeed. It's called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that's not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house. A witch? I've not heard of any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider this a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name is... Oh? We don't know the name. L? L? Oh, maybe we did get the name. Wake up. Get up, Mel. What? It's morning. You've disappointed me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what the matter was. I've really been asleep that long? And father is too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that... Yes, dearest Mel? What are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was a long time ago. Things are different now. Now you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up, out of bed, sleepyhead. Alright, I'm getting up. So, you can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink of sleep last night. You think so? You didn't go out on the town last night, did you? Naughty boy. I would never. You know that. You squeaked. I didn't think I believe you. I don't think I believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nellie. Hey, you weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. Anyways, shoot. I can't get dressed with you here. Fine, I'm leaving. Ew. I almost forgot, dearest Mel. What now? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. No? At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us. Told you what? Do I really want to say? It sounds like you really want me out of your room, dearest Mel. Please, Nellie? We got a new maid today, from a house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at a social gathering. But that's not the surprising part. There's that maid. She's peculiar. Has a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair? What? How do you know that, dearest Mel? Thanks, Nellie. Hey, get back here. Oh, for goodness sake, what's gotten into him? Bah. At the time, the majority of the servants at this mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had Abigails, so there were several women servants, myself included. The maids, and by large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at a house even more powerful than their own, and the white-haired girl Mel saw the night before was one such maid. When he had heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. I'm guessing she's probably mother's maid? White hair. It has to be that girl from last night. But Deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen from the previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess, hardly what you would envision from a girl of class. But he did not seek her out to find whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more, to ascertain whether that what he witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination, and he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't want to run into Mother, that would be awkward. He was heading toward his mother's bedchamber, but the closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, that same white hair. She appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden carving lining the wall, making certain not even to miss a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's Abigail's. There was no longer any filth obscuring her beauty. All that had covered her pure white hair and the glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless ruby eyes. Pardon me. Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze and for a brief moment merely blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel? Yes? Your father informed me of you. Did he? I didn't, well, I guess I don't need to introduce myself then. I believe she made an attempt at a smile, though it was difficult to tell. She quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only for the briefest moment. She seemed to be looking at both someone, and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color hair. Do you have some business with the mistress, Lord Mel? I can let her know if you'd like. No, I was looking for you. For me? Mel felt as though all the blood in his body began to flow backwards. He could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had little trouble speaking with others. He had less experience interacting with women. This was true, but the time he had spent all around Nellie had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then. Yes, for you. Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel? I was wondering how you were doing. Pardon? I'm quite fine. Good. That's great to hear. You fool, Mel. What are you even saying? You have more important things to ask, like where she came from. Or tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. But I don't want to trouble her too much. Lord Mel? Yes? Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent. Was I in your way? In my way? No, not at all. What are you up to? Cleaning. Oh, well, yeah, I didn't need to ask. You're cleaning. You can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making... No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy and I couldn't simply be idle. But I enjoy cleaning. Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday. This mansion's truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishing has had a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Yeah, thanks. Did she just change the subject on me? I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. That's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it. Oh, was it? Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations of the wall were broken. I can hardly imagine. This is a marvelous, impressive house. I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear that. My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He'd like to do things people didn't expect just to watch the looks on the surprised faces. He was kind of a man who would buy a mansion that would be beyond repair just to give it a complete new life. Everyone who had seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent. Huh? I was just thinking that you're kind of like this house. What do you mean by that? I mean, you first arrived. Oh, never mind. Forget it. She'll figure out you're peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she? Yes? It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. Oh? The truth is, it being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say, whoa, that all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune. Do you believe it? I. I'm just kidding. It's not actually true. It's all rumors and hearsay, embellished to make them tale more exciting. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. The mansion was truly. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then then we wouldn't still be here, and it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away? No. How did he die? Inside a lovely lady. What? Believe it or not, that is how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go. But he was hardly misfortunate. What'd I tell you? Yes? Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I'm pure of body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so... Hey, she laughed. My apologies. No, it's fine. Anyways, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found here by my grandfather, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it probably was important. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught grandfather's eyes. When he announced his plan to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovations upon renovations gave the mansion new life, but of all his work, he was most fond of the roses in the garden. He collected species from all across the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long time to complete. There are even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in. He truly loved roses. Me? I don't really get how someone could be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor. Perhaps the roses were meant for someone. What? I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all. Indeed they do. If you like roses as much as Nelly, then you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work. No, I'm sensitive to sunlight. Oh, that's unusual. Oh, perhaps that explains why you're so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin's so pretty too. You don't seem terribly surprised. What? No, I'm very much surprised. Or would he prefer a more dramatic response? No, I just expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can barely spend any time outside. That makes me sound some like of a demonic creature. You worry too much. There's not a monster in the world that is as sweet as you. Yes? Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? That black-haired one especially. She's, how should I put it, a little frightening. Almost as if she has a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right. She's one of mother's maids too, isn't she? Now even I'm more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth houseborn. I can imagine her saying that. Again. I'm very sorry. No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you'd laugh more. She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in the mansion? Actually, she's been here for quite some time. I don't know exactly how long. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy. I've never once considered her such... Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all faked. That doesn't make her any less pretty, though. conversation died. I don't think I have to think of something else to talk about. Um, yeah. You can ask me anything. Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I've not seen him around. Oh yeah, father frequently returns home. This mansion's actually our secondary house. Why do you ask though? I was just curious, nothing more. Oh. Yes, what is it? One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way if you'll excuse me. What? Alright, see you later then. Goodbye. Alright, one moment. Since you're sensitive to the sunlight, I can pick some roses for you. I can pick some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room. Lord Mel. That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. I want to hide under a rock and reverse time and try this over again. Roses are not becoming of me. He's too kind. Loud footsteps, ASMR. Commercial break. I don't even know what language it is. I think it might be Latin. I don't know. Is Latin a real language anymore? You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today. Now there's something unusual. You not being punctual. Maybe next time you'll give a whole month. Maybe next month. I can't read. Maybe next month we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on your next year's crops as well. You had purple eyes, Father. So did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, nothing. Something did happen then, didn't it? It's all over your face. It's all over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a face of stone. So it is. People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyways. I'm sorry, don't look so dejected. For now at least there's nothing wrong with that. So tell me, what has set you in such a joyous mood, Mel? You torment me so, Father. We've taken on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes in, things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gotten to me, that's all. Oh, why are you looking at me like that? No reason. So, what family does the little lady come from? Oh, actually, I don't know, actually. You don't know? I was gonna ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home, and I can't speak to Mother. I see. She's caught your eye, has she? Yes, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, aren't you? Are you not? What? No, you truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be getting home now. Mel? Yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it is your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. Thank you, and excuse me. It doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No. I'm not in love with her, I'm just interested. This isn't love, no. It couldn't be. This is me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. It's the same beggar as before. I don't think he's moved since then, but he looks skinnier than last time. He's gonna have trouble making it through the summer. I should give him something while I still have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I've got to give. Oh, thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire. Thanks. I feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. The skies are really clear. The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day, as was characteristics of the area. Cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after a storm. The cathedral standing tall in the center of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with a pleasant sound of footsteps, the people peering out from beneath awnings to look up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the Forsaken, even if their time would later come to be referred as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demanding in complaints. And she had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl. No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door, and I don't like that carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we can change it with? Hey, you put this ugly vase here. Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustrations. Though if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born in a generation earlier or a generation later, she likely would have not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond being childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face. Get rid of all that. The carpet, the chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Don't we have anything better? If we don't, then have it ordered. Have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing. Caught in the middle of the flurry of the maids and the furniture and fabric, she chased frantically scrambling Abigails, with her eyes made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in their way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids were ordered to get new furniture made their way out of the Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them. You, hold on a second. You, yes, with the white hair. Ooh. However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave. What? The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered, to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity and uncertainty in her demeanor. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the light of sun, almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl's. I wanted to talk to you actually, but Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. Trade? You mean for? Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I would need some extra hands. But why? Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rose family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties. I came from another country. Another country? What country? Some are very, very far away. Oh, north? Of here? East? West? South? South. It's south of here. I crossed the sea to get here, which is why we have never met before. How far did you travel then? How many times did the sun rise? How many stormy nights did you face? Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading ever further north. Huh? So tell me. Lady Nellie, this is the most wonderful that is a most wonderful painting. She just tried to brush me off. I won't let her get away with that easy. Painting in my room? So of course, painting, and it's in my room, so of course it's wonderful. But that one's especially so. You're both so adorable, you, Lady Nellie, and Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted? Huh? Oh, that painting. Goodness, yes, you have a good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? This was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands? I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looked like he was really embarrassed. But standing there like statues makes for a boring painting, Nellie explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nellie was most fond of the one of her and her brother. The two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks, and her color of fresh pickled apple, her cheeks the color of fresh picked apples. And it was the very embodiment of their happiness. A painting lay its subjects bare, you know. Fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings were alive? They are drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs which capture a single moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal the past and the present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him, and he would teach me all about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes on a walk with me, making excuses like I'm an adult now, but we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose garden. I see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curved upward as Nellie reminisced. A vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind, and I imagined that there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see. Yes, of course I do. Mel's smart, he's studious, and he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. So he had to have ordered it in months in advance, just for me. He's a prince. Oh? He's a pretty charming prince, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But you know what? Mel is a terrible dancer. He still hasn't gotten his feet on the ground yet. He's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's no one else who would say that about him. He is quite the gentleman. I assumed women would be drawn to him. Gentlemen? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. That reminds me, Mel seemed to know about her too. What do you think about Mel? As I said, he's a gentleman. That's not what I meant. Don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel is too trusting. He's pure of heart, so I won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, but you actually want to get close to him. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nellie. He is a man from far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? No, not at all. And you don't have any romantic feeling for him, do you? What, well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nellie. And you won't develop any? I will not. And with that, Nellie gave a wide, satisfied grin, even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels, or how they might in the future. You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family, I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your... Lady Nellie, your new carpet. Oh, no, it's an Abigail. Lady Nellie, I've brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. The work of a true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you find it to your liking as well? Wow, you're right. That's a Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style or if it was imported. Either way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll have to see about the colors to go with everything else. We have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What a wonderful taste you have, Nellie. When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nellie's room, and as the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from the relief of having escaped Nellie's inquisition, or perhaps... Nellie, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as always. Anyway, never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated today. So that's what you've been doing, hiding away in the house all day, Nellie? How's that any different from what you were doing? You were in the church all day. I guess. I will look at your room, I promise, but first, do you know where the new maid is? Now, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't had the chance to introduce myself yet, and though I should, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, and I know it. Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if it were to pass on me if she were to pass me in the halls not even knowing who I am, so don't ask me. What? But you're in the house all day. She attends to Mother, so why would I know she is? Though she did help redecorate my room. You made her help? That's work for the for the men servants. There was no reason to make the maids do it. Also, you're saying I should have invited a bunch of men to my room? I go into your room all the time, Nellie, and you were in my bed chambers just this morning. Only one man only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dearest Mel, and that is you. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them to help. No, Nellie, you ought to be a little more what? If you're going to lecture me, I won't hear it. What am I gonna do with you, my little lady? What? What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mel, and I'm not going to tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Humph. Please, Nellie. She said she has no romantic interest in you. What? Why did that even come up? Because we're both girls. We talk about things like that, like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a sad little boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is so unbecoming of Prince Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange. You haven't even met. I'm not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never met doesn't like you. That's all. The white-haired girl. If I'm gonna make my move, I must do it soon. I don't have much time. The master of this house isn't around, so next in line would be him. That painting. Ooh, I think I'm gonna cut it there. Yeah, I'll cut it there. At the commercial break, let's go. Okie dokie. I'm gonna save. How do I save? There you go. Save. I'm gonna go to all the way to the back. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go. Overwrite. Yes, I will overwrite. There you go. Back. Oops.